Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be building a creepy cabin. This build was done on stream on Twitch. I make content more consistently there, so check it out if you want more consistent content than my every few months uploads. I started with laying out a floor. I started in kind of just a box. This will change later in the video. You'll see that there's a bunch of things that I just tried out and then changed because I was just winging it, just kind of going along with the vibe, I guess. I started with the walls next to the logs. I then decided to push them in by one block to create a little bit more dimension. Um, I'm definitely glad I did this because I was able to add some beautiful trims to the build afterward. I also, because I wanted the vibes to be a little bit creepy, I added pale wood. I want to add a little bit of contrast, and I really like the. I think the pale wood definitely does give some creepy vibes. So I really want to work those in. At some point, I was kind of bouncing between do I want to use this or just spruce? But I'm fair because it wasn't quite working with all the other colors that I had. But in the end, I think it worked out. So I'm very glad that that we figured that out eventually. You'll see me adding in just the windows now, or all the trapdoors that we use for the windows, and then a trim on the floor. I don't know what you'd call it in like professional builder terms, but you know. I'm also adding that same line uh, of stairs on the top of the wall. And then the interior, I want to light it up first of all, so I added some slabs with lanterns, and of course I used the blue lanterns for a little bit of a colder lighting, which I think fit the entire feeling that we were going for a bit more. I also already added some cobwebs, and then I started mapping out kind of the build of what do I want to do outside of this box that we had up until now. So then I made a little bit of a shed to the side that would end up going into the garden. And I want to make some form of attic that had one open wall. So we just added that. You'll also see me changing the time to night because of the fact that I wanted to make sure that everything was well lit in the desired atmosphere, let's call it. So yeah, then the roof came along. For a bit, I was very confused as to how I got it to look like a two-block center. It was because the fact that there were stairs at the side of it. It's an, and it took me a couple of seconds to realize. But because I was trying to copy and I was like, wait, hold on a minute. How did I do this on the front? But it worked out. Um, then I built the walls on the back side of the framing for the roof, just to kind of stay in line with the bottom side with the dimension, and also because you can't really add full blocks under stairs when you have them turned upside down, which I did. I did also decide to keep the logs. I think these are the dark oak ones, if I remember correctly. The dark oak logs as a consistent design to keep support beams and stuff like that in there. Then I made some arches in the walls for the little shed. And then the shed, I did do the walls immediately next to our support beams because of the fact that otherwise it would just be way too small and you wouldn't have any space to place anything. It would just be a hallway. So I made sure that that was big enough to at least place some decoration later on in the build. And while it is the case that I tried to record with replay mod for the interior as well. For some reason, it didn't do it properly, so you'll just get a show around at the very end of the video. Here I'm figuring out how to place the beams in a way that looks good with the bottom side of the build as well for the attic. And then after the roof's been built and we've placed some fences in order to still kind of have it not feel like an open, forgotten wall, I added in some new windows, which are actually glass rather than trapdoors. And then we got to decorating some more of the shed. There are basically lanterns on every corner in this build because of the fact that they don't give off that much light, and also symmetry. The symmetry was quite nice in my personal opinion. And now that the entire exterior is done, I'm going to give you a quick run through of the interior and also the fact that I made a dead coral and gravel path in there. I also added some extra windows from actual glass. And then you can finally see the garden for the first time. I made sure to add some pale pale forest leaves, I guess. I don't remember the proper name. And the new firefly bushes because I'm a big fan of those. I also added some roots and leaves around, like dead leaves on the floor. We also added a cauldron and candles as decoration of the inside. Nothing much else is in the bottom floor, and the top on the attic is kind of more brewery and storage brewery themed, I guess. I don't know. It feels a little bit more like a witch's place. And then in the garden we have a singular grave and a bunch of different more brown plants, more brownish looking. So you've got the dead bushes and firefly bushes, stuff like that. Then in the tiny shed we have a bunch of different weirder looking flowers, such as the withered rose and the pale oak saplings. So that was the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the build, and hope to see you next time or in stream at some point. Bye bye.